Well, peace, 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 fam, and happy February to everyone. Yes, January is gone already. This is Oracle Deborah with the Oracle Deborah podcast on YouTube. Can you believe we are in February already? We are. We are. And it's going to be a rough ride. I hate to tell you, but it's going to be a little bit of a rough February. And it's interesting because, it's a lot of love energy in the month of February. There's Black History Month. There's the more pouring out of knowledge and information about the foundation of Black American history. There's Valentine's Day. It's a short month. I mean, what's not to like about February? And yet, it's going to be a turbulent month, which we have seen glimpses of already. I hope it simmers down, though. Maybe this is the energy that I pulled for the month for myself. When I saw the energy, I thought, this can't be me. I'm picking up on other energies. And so even for me, I am broadening my perceptions and horizons, if you will, in terms of tarot. And the cards that I'm pulling, that they're not all about me. Okay, if they were, I will be sitting very pretty right now because I have pulled quite a bit of amazing cards for me over the years, not months, years. And quite the opposite happened in most cases. So it is clear that I am not just pulling for myself, I am pulling for the collective. I will share with you the cards. I brought my cards in so that I can share with you to give people, to give you guys just a heads up. Honestly, just a heads up. I will share all the juiciness with you when it is that. And, I have to share with you all the other stuff when it comes out because we live in a dualistic society and there is no such thing as all good or all bad. We are constantly in an ebb and flow kind of energy. Everything always vibrates. And by the way, I just uploaded the intro and first chapter of the Kabbalion. So please check that out. And I put a lot of work into that. And I actually lost some of my files. I don't even know how. So one of the chapters, which is pretty long, I have to redo. And I'm not editing. I'm just not. I'm not there yet. I'm working on it. I'm looking at a program now that I think I might like, but I don't know if I will. So I'm working on it. But I don't do bad. I don't do badly when I read. I just had to get the flow going and not read too slow, but read just slow enough where it was more fluid. And very, very few mistakes, very few, hiccups in there. So I think it will be doable for you, especially if you're just in the car driving or, you want something to go to sleep to at night. I think I have a pretty nice voice. So anyway, yeah, we have seen a glimpse of what February looks like, and that glimpse turned out to be the two plane crashes, the unfortunate and catastrophic, I can't believe I'm using that word, plane crashes, which they were, don't get me wrong, but when you've watched the news over the past couple of days, as I have, the adjectives got to be a bit much. That were used over and over and over again. So that's why I said what I said. Anyway, so the one crash in DC, where the Black Hawk took out I think it was an American Airlines passenger jet. if I can call it that. That was wild. And so they have concluded at this point. I don't know how. I agree with one of the podcasters. I don't know how they could not have seen it. I mean, it was, you were headed straight towards it, and I'm not. I'm thinking, they had all their lights on. So how do you not see something that's right in front of you? That was really weird. Unless your head was turned. Like, I don't know. I mean, even from your peripheral, you'll see something glowing in front of you. So there's speculation about, was it really manned? Was it remote controlled? They absolutely were flying way above where they were supposed to be flying. So that's an issue as well. Um, and they said the female that was flying uh, the Black Hawk was very seasoned. So I don't know. I don't know. I'm not, I have my thoughts on DEI, but I'm not going to get into that for these crashes, as it makes sense not to. Um, so DEI will be a separate topic. In terms of the Philly crash, again, that was insane. You know, I know how dense Philly is built. Not as dense as New York, but still dense. And I know the area in Northeast Philly. And for a plane to go down right there in the middle of all of that hustle and bustle in Philly, that was just that was just insane. And it almost looked like a missile. So I don't know what they concluded about that one yet. The investigation is still going on. Their mayor is amazing. Sherelle, can't think of her last name. But she was all over it, as the things we want to see in a mayor, not someone off partying somewhere, in another part of the world. So she was there in the city when it happened, and so she and the governor were there, and along with everybody else. So kudos to Philly, and also kudos to DC, because they were also there on the spot. Again, there's so many videos about what happened in DC, and these planes going down in the Potomac River, and all of the congestion surrounding the Reagan National Airport. And is sad. They had some figure skaters, promising figure skaters on that flight, among other folks, some parents, some coaches, and other folks. There was, I think, approximately 64 to 65 people on that passenger plane. And then I think 3 people on the Black Hawk. So, it's a lot of people. I know it's hard to say the fortunate side in this, because that was so devastating. Is that it did go in the water. I don't know how that's going to affect the water. I don't know the logistics and all of that. But unlike Philly, it went in water. Philly's plane went down in the middle of a very bustling metropolis. So, and one person who was in a car uh, on the ground, of course, uh, died as a result of the Philly crash. And it was a medevac or something, the one in Philly. And I know I'm going back and forth, but love, energy, prayers, condolences, all of that, to everyone, their families, people who got hurt. Um, it's just ridiculous. The one thing someone did bring out about these flights is, which is quite interesting, is that the collision in DC, that passenger plane was coming out of Kansas. And well, that was coming out of Kansas. and it was about to land into DC at the Reagan National Airport. And then there's a plane crash in Philly, and people are linking that to the Super Bowl, which, it is kind of weird. It's ironic that one is coming out of Kansas, which that's one of the teams playing, and you got one that crashes in Philly. So I don't know if there's anything to that. I just thought it was interesting that someone made that, um, just thought of it, and was able to be like, yo, can you believe this? Yada yada yada. So I don't know. And I just thought it was kind of interesting too. Ironic is probably the better word to use. It's just kind of ironic that people in Kansas are mourning, as are people in Philly. So really, really, really sad. And I think the passenger on the Philly plane, because it was I don't know if it was a medevac or it's just one of those uh, medical planes that it was transporting a patient, a young girl, and her mother back to Mexico. And they didn't make it, and they didn't, they weren't even in the air long before it came down. So yeah, that was really sad. That was really sad because for whatever reason, the little girl was here and got medical help here, and then had to be flown. I think it was flying somewhere to Michigan, and then I guess from there it was going to fly them to Mexico. Yeah, I can't even begin to imagine. I can't. So I feel like that energy is a precursor to what February, to the cards that I got for February. I really do. Because I was really shocked. I pulled for the whole month, and I looked at this and I said, it was very difficult for me to be very positive about these cards because the energy is very tense, and a lot of sword energy in this. No three of swords. Three of swords did not come out, so I didn't get a heartbreak or anything. But some loss. I think some loss, some tension in terms of holding on, holding close to your coins. And I'm remembering that. I had them here. I'm not looking at them right now. Um, but I just think the cards I pulled for the month of February are indicative of the energy that we may very well be experiencing, as we've seen this week, basically. The DC crash collision occurred on Wednesday. So I think it was on Wednesday. So that would have been the 29th. And I better double check because, I do need to bring some receipts to the table, and everything can't be intuitive. I don't mean to laugh. Do you understand what I'm saying? Uh, oops, let's do this. Meditate. All right, sorry for the silence. So let's see. I was hoping it would give me more. Let me go back. Mm, golly. Sorry, my iPad is just doing the most right now. I don't even know. I don't even know how to get out of the screen. It's so weird. Okay. Let me just start over, I guess. Um, Sorry, folks. It usually doesn't. Oh, no wonder. Okay, all right. So let's just go to a generic article. So that was the update. So it was an American Airlines plane. It had departed from Wichita, Kansas. Um, and the Black Hawk was a training flight. And as usual, CNN can't give us a basic day. It tells you everything except for the day that it. Oh, okay. So it was Wednesday, and Wednesday was the 29th. So yeah, it occurred on Wednesday, the 29th, 6:39 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sorry for the slowness on that one. And then the Philly collision happened yesterday, January 31st. So that's how we ended off with January. Pretty wild. Um, so I'll go through the tarot cards and then let's see. Let me make sure. Yeah, I'm good. We'll go through the tarot cards and then I have an update on the 555 for the Eagles. And we'll just touch on a little bit of DEI. Um, I don't know. I'm in a weird, kind of strange mood today as well. I want to rest, but I can't rest. I went out, but it was boring. So I came back and I was still bored. And yeah, just kind of like that today. Um, and that's pretty much how my week was as well. So let's see. And really, by the time we got to Friday 31st, it felt like that long week felt like a year. Like this whole week felt like it was just intense in some shape, form, or fashion. There was good news coming in, but there was movement going on, but it just felt like a long week. So, yeah, not really sure. As for February, okay, so for the first week, I got the Page of Air, which is the Page of Swords, the Transformation card, which is the Death card, that's Scorpio energy, number 13, and then Five of Fire, Five of Wands, which is conflict. So pages are technically pretty positive. It's childlike energy, if you will. Um, I actually have a book. I actually have a book that gives me a little more information on some of these cards, which I really like. So hold on one second. Okay, I'm actually back. I was just trying to get to my page for the page um, before I came back, but I didn't want you to wait too long. So, all right, Page of Swords, curious, witty, quick thinker, chatty, alert, energetic. So those are the adjectives for the Page of Swords, upright. Oh, I'm sorry about that, folks. I thought I had unmuted myself, but I didn't. But okay, so I'm back. So for the Page of Swords, upright, you have curious, witty, quick thinker, chatty, alert, energetic. So, like I said, very young energy, very kind of adolescent energy, if you will. Reverse, this card is rude, insult, spiteful, manipulative, gossip, defensive. So, and then, okay, so it says the Page of Swords is a chatty and inquisitive. Honestly, it sounds a little bit like Sagittarius energy as a child. Chatty, inquisitive, filled with nervous energy. Wow. As she fits from place to place, as she flits, like moves about from place to place. She is a quick thinker and a great communicator. Man, it sounds very familiar. Her mind is fluid and adaptable, and her sharp sense of perception means she is always processing new information. She is honest, though sometimes tactless. This is definitely Sagittarius energy, for sure. Without focus, her mind can run around in circles and go off on tangents. Uh, let's see. Yes, 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 yes. This energy is very familiar. Um, Very familiar Sagittarius energy. So in the reverse, the Page of Swords is mental agility. I don't pull reverses on these cards because they're oracle cards. Um, and by the way, this is the Good Tarot deck. It's not an oracle card deck. It's the Good Tarot deck, but it's the alternate perception of the traditional meanings of the cards. But as a tarot reader, you come to add your own interpretation into the cards. Honestly, I think that's the whole point of it. Um, so I'm just reading you the traditional energies, but this is definitely, Page of Swords is definitely starting out the week as very Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter. So a very Jupiterian energy. Jupiter, as you know, is the largest planet. Um, it is the great benefic, um, a whole lot of luck. So they say. So they say, but I think you have to have Jupiter in a very prominent and benefic placement to really see all of his juiciness. Because as I say with Sagittarius, everyone says it is the planet of expansion, but I say, but it can also expand that waistline. It can expand things you don't want expanded. If you get my drift. Um, so yeah, so we started off with very Jupiterian energy, chatty, inquisitive, curious, which is excellent, quick thinker, sharp, witty, alert, energetic, like all of that high energy, sharp, very curious, um, just an excellent aura. Like these are the type of people that people are drawn to. They're also curious about. Like this person is curious, but people are also curious about them. And because this energy is very outgoing, very outgoing. And it it actually supersedes a lot of social norms, which is why some of the um, advice here for this energy um, is, share your excitement. Be, the page is very animated. It's very articulate. But some of the advice is, debate, don't argue. Like, don't get into that because that is not a good argument. It's not a good energy for this type of person or this type of energy. But of course, as I told you, the opposite or the reverse of this energy, and I don't want to go too deep into it. I feel like I'm going more deep into this page of source than I intended to. Um, but it can be defensive, it can be spiteful, it can be rude, it can be a little tactless. Sagittarius can be a bit tactless, say what they just say, honest to a fault. It can be very honest to a fault. Never misses words. Some really hardcore Sagittarius will they just spare no feelings. They're just rude and crude. And I've come across some of those. I actually I have a lot of Sagittarius in my chart, and I actually am very mindful of decorum, um, you know, intact, and things like that. And some Sagittarius, they not, and which is fine, I'm not judging, but they can be highly, some Sagittarius can be highly tactless and unapologetically so. And sometimes that draws people to them because they really don't give a F about anything. Um, and and that draws people to them because people like that kind of fire. And when you're a little too cognizant of your tact, people like that too, but then they don't like that, if you get what I'm saying. I don't know. People just want to be ruled and ruled over. It's kind of weird. So yeah, that's how we started out that week with the page of air. But then right behind that is the death card, transformation. So what's coming to an end? That honesty, that chitter chatter, that curiosity, something's coming to an end. And transformation, this card is ruled by Scorpio. So it's not just endings, it's endings and beginnings, and the transformation part of that. So maybe I'm being a little too pessimistic about these cards, but um that transformation is also considered that butterfly effect. um and that could, like I said, that can go either way. Endings, if something juicy is going on, that could be an end of that. If something horrific is going on, it could be an end of that. Like it just depends. But when you get death, you better pay attention. Is what I'm saying. And then behind that is the Five of Wands, which is your conflict card. So what is the conflict going on? You know? And these cards are getting very interesting because I'm already looking at the card for the following week. And I don't know. So really quickly for the Five of Wands, upright is competition, arguments, disputes, conflict, as I said, tension, disagreements. And the reverse of that is conflict avoidance, jealousy, rising tension, wounded ego, rivalry. But again, like I said, upright is that competition, arguments, disputes. Sometimes you have to do that, especially if something is, something comes along and, you're like, hey, no, we need to challenge this. So that it could be that. It could be a conflict in a good way for you to say, no, something unjust is occurring here and I need to stand on my square, right? So that would be Five of Wands energy as well. But there is tension, there's disagreements, there's something going on by the end of the week. So the transformation the death of something. Maybe you thought you were in a good situation, or the contract you wrote or deal you were making, was kind of high flying and on a positive note, and that came to an end, and now you're in the middle of a disagreement, or maybe that was the honeymoon phase of this situation, relationship, or whatever, and now you're getting into the crux of what this relationship is all about, the disagreements, you know the conflict. So that's week number one. That's a whole game. That's from like uh, those are extremes just in week one. Just in week one. Okay. So now we're getting to week two. And quite interestingly enough, as I said, we started off with the page of swords, or the page of air in this deck, it's called. And week two starts with another page of water. And then we get the four of earth, and then the page of earth. I actually like that page of earth card. Now I know that's a very positive card too. So maybe it's this adolescent energy that I'm not really sure about, you know. I'm used to the major arcanas coming out, and here we have a lot of um, adolescent energy. So Page of Cups, upright, this is the inner child, the messenger, could be shy, idealistic, or an idealist. I'm getting Neptunian energy with this, and of course Neptune rules Pisces. But Pisces is like the grandfather of the zodiac. All of the water energies are very deep, very profound energy. So when you have a page of water, you have someone that's naive, sensitive, a dreamer, imaginative, shy, but a messenger. Also talks about the inner child. This also reminds me of the Six of Cups, where there is the reflection, the reminiscing of old times. Only with this one, this is like an idealistic dreamer. Yeah, again, that page energy, that adolescent energy, almost like someone whose maturity has been stifled in their youth, and they kind of go through a good portion of their life wanting this energy and end up being very idealistic, um, and naive, because the world is constantly turning, I should say. And they're kind of stuck with, you know, but this is what I want to see. This is not what I got, but this is what I want to see. That's an example of that. Um, or someone new getting into a new industry or business, and they're super excited. I think about those of us who start out in real estate or investing, and we're super excited, and really we don't realize the sharks that are swarming around in those waters. So there can be some naivety there. So you could apply this to anything. Someone who might have pockets of areas in their life who are shy, right? So again, this is this adolescent energy. You end up with conflict, and maybe go into the next week. You go inward a little bit, and you're being a little more idealistic about maybe what that conflict might turn out to be, how it might turn out in your favor, how you might be able to move forward, um, in a more, how can I put this, a more calmer or resolution. Maybe you feel like there's some resolution was hit. I don't know, maybe I'm really idealistic about that. So yeah, there's something about the page. It's holding me to this energy is holding me to these pages. So that's week 2. The second card for week 2 is the Four of Earth. Now that's where you're holding on. The Earth is your pentacles. That's where you're holding onto your ducats, basically. Um, this could be penny pinching. This could be stinginess. This could be frugality. Someone being frugal. This could be someone concerned about their stability and holding on to that. But that's what we got. There's a holding on to something, which I mentioned early on, um, about this energy. So let's see. Give you a little bit more on this one. So yeah, it talks about stability, ownership, conservatism. I like that word. Caution, yes. Accumulation, yes. Fear of risk, yes. Yes, yes. So as we flow through the weeks, like week 1, you had that extreme energy from the Page of Air to the um, Five of Wands. And you start out with week 2 with this idealistic energy, but then you go into that, maybe I need to hold on to, maybe I need to be conservative here. Maybe I need to think more about my stability here. Maybe there's a caution. You get a red flag, there's some sense of caution. I feel like, I don't know, and maybe because that page here, I'm going back to the page again, that inner energy, that going inward, it's like whatever's happening outward, but at some point we go inward and we're like, something's telling me I need to chill here. I need to take it slow. Um, I need to take ownership of my stability. I need to be cautious. So, again, it's that holding back. And, Mars, I believe, is still retrograde. So Mars actually has this kind of things kind of held off for now. And, you know, Mars is ruled by, Mars rules Aries. Aries is that childlike energy, which is what I'm getting here. So this might be all a reflection of this Mars energy that will eventually go direct. I just don't know what day or month. It may be in February, but maybe not. But I'll check for you. All right. So ending out the week of week 2, we have the Page of Earth. Like I said, I like this page. I like this energy a lot. It's very positive. Um, but again, more page energy. Huh. So the page talks about academic, practical, studious, disciplined, loyal, dependable. It's very grounding. So we went from that sword energy um, in the first week. So it was really just one sword. We went to wands. Yeah, but it's still very adolescent energy. It's holding off. But whatever that water thing is, that idealism, starting off on week 2, we get grounded. By the middle of the week, we're grounded. You guys are getting grounded. You're like, I need to not be idealistic. I need to not be in fantasy land. I need to ground myself. I need to get back to planet Earth and deal with my stability. And you do. First, you pull back with the Four of Earth, you're holding on. And then by the end of the week, you are well into your practicality, being studious, disciplined, loyal, dependable, all of that. And it's interesting, it says here the page doesn't just want to do something, she wants to do it well. Hold yourself to a level of excellence. So, okay, maybe, I don't know. I don't know. I'm just not used to all this adolescent energy, but that's where it is. And that's not bad energy. But I mean, it's like maybe I started out week 2 being a little idealistic about this thing, but I got grounded. I got sobered up pretty quickly, by midweek, and I'm on it. I'm in with the discipline. I'm tackling what I need to tackle. I'm sobered. I'm completely sober, and not out of fear of I need to hold on out of fear. Like, no, I just need to step back, take account of what's going on around me, and then move forward. And you've made a decision to be very practical, to be very sober, to be disciplined, loyal to yourself, dependable on yourself. That's what I'm seeing here. So, yeah, I don't know why I thought it was such negative energy. The first 2 weeks, it did start off a little wild with an extreme, and then you get sobered up by the end of week 2. So now let's go into week 3. Starting off with week 3, we got 2 of air, so a little bit of maturity kicking in here. But no, that's indecisive, the 2 of air. So here you're back. You ended off week 2 with, being sober, disciplined, loyal, all that good stuff. And then starting out week 3, you need to make a decision. You don't know what to do. You don't know what to do. By midweek, you're in 6 of water, 6 of cups. I actually talked about that earlier. That's that dreamy state that, you are, what's the word I want to use? 6 of cups, reflection, reminiscing. That's the word. You're reminiscing. 2 of air, indecisive. And you go into reminiscing, looking in the past. And then, oh my God, this is why 8 of air, ending off the week, all up in your head. Stress. Oof. Yikes. So it's interesting too. Let me go back a little bit. Week 2, that's Valentine's week. So maybe that fantasy had to do with love, because water energy, cup energy, relationships, a little idealistic, shy about whatever relationship you're in. And then somewhere in the middle of the week, you're like, something tells me not to move forward in this. Something tells me I need not to give so much. I need to hold back, hold on to what I have. And you sober up really quickly by the end of the week, which is pretty much Valentine's Day. Yeah. So, wow. All right. So, week 3, again, you start off with 2 of air. You got the 6 of cups energy, reminiscing, and you go right up into the headspace, all up in the head. All up in the head by the end of week 3. So let's see. I want to look at this 2 of air. I know that's indecision right off the bat. Avoidance, indecision, hesitation, reluctance, uncertainty. And I don't know about you, but I know for me, when I start spending too much time on something, instead of making a very quick decision, That's when those mistakes get made. So I don't know what it is. Maybe something coming up from the past. I don't know. But this is on the heels of Valentine's. You're all up in your head about a decision you have to make. But you're also reminiscent. Let's look at the Six of Cups. Nostalgia, happy memories, renewing friendships, recovery. And then it just blows up with the Eight of Air. It just blows right up right into the week. Eight of Swords, entrapment, self-victimization, imprisonment, restriction, negativity, self-sabotage. Yikes. Yay, yay, yay. You went from being grounded and disciplined to just all up in your head a week later. Yeah, maybe that's what I was remembering about this month. It's weird. It feels like a holding back this whole month. Not a letting go, but a holding back. Move with caution. All right, so I think the last week is when everything lets loose because you start off with the Ace of Air. See, we got a lot of swords energy here. Start off with the Page of Air. Third week, second Two of Air, indecision. Now we got the Ace of Air, new beginnings. By midweek, there's Eight of Wands, excellent, fast communication. See, that's what I'm talking about. I think we were, not just me, the collective in general was probably waiting for some communication to come in. And it comes in fast by the last week of February. It comes in like lightning. That's probably when Mars goes direct. Because everything is just held up with Mars in retrograde, in my opinion. And maybe in terms of let's say in terms of like what's going on in the world, maybe as a result of these crashes, people are kind of holding their breath, because there's a lot going on. We've got these unexpected plane crashes. We have the shaking up in the government with the new administration. We have the deportation situation that's very active, very, very active. There's mandates for, state employees to take a buyout or whatever, but they're asking them to go. There's a lot going on. You got the DEI situation that's coming up all over the place. And I'm going to get into that DEI because, we were hoodwinked and bamboozled when it came to that DEI situation. And now we know that DEI was never meant to support or benefit foundational Black Americans. As a matter of fact, it mainly supported and benefited. Number one on the list is white women. There is evidence to support it, and behind that is number two is white men. And I haven't seen this list. I'm still looking for this list that someone quoted. So allegedly, but from my own experience, it sounds right about right. It's not worse than what I'm about to say. Foundational Black Americans were number 7 in terms of benefiting from DEI. And I've been saying for a while now, DEI is not for us because there's no way at the age that I was at They the system clocked me in as being retired at 45. I was stupid. I was crazy. I mean, Trump is what, over 80 and still working hard. So why would you consider someone at that age, they're retired now? Nah, that was DEI at work. That's what DEI did for a lot of us foundational Black Americans. They told a lie. They lied about those numbers in terms of unemployment. They lie heavily. They hid it behind the word retirement, actually. But anyway, so week 4 in February, things lighten up. We got the Ace of Air starting out the week. We got the Eight of Wands, very fast communication midweek, and then we end up with the World card, endings. What's ending? So, it's interesting. In week 1, we had death. We had the death of something. And in the final week in February, there is endings. Endings, endings, endings. End of what? We're not stuck in our head anymore. Because that's how we ended off week 3. All up in our head. Stress. Keeping us up at night. Heavy, heavy energy. And then we start off week 4 with the Ace of Swords. Ideas, breakthrough, efficiency, discovery, clarity, new perspective. This to me is Mars. This is Mars to me. Because when Mars breaks loose, in terms of me, I can't speak for everyone else. When it breaks loose, when it comes out of its retrograde, when it shows up wherever in my chart, this is what I get. I get breakthroughs. I get ideas. It's like everything just opens up. I get clarity. There's efficiency. There's productivity. There's a joy. There's a happiness. There's a contentment. It's beyond hope. You're like, I'm on, and you're not even specifically on a mission. You're like, just the doors have opened up and now you can go. That's why one of the words here is discovery, clarity. I talked about that. Get clarity and new perspectives. Like everything just opens up. I just love this part of Mars. And honestly, this is what the Ace of Air is reminding me of, Ace of Swords. And the reflection of the card is a flying horse. I mean, that's how you feel. I love this energy. So there was a lot of holding breath like throughout this whole month, which is very odd for a love month. You feel what I'm saying? Holding on, getting sober, getting grounded. You're like, I'm not falling into this pattern again of choosing the same type of person all the time and getting the same results. I'm going to hold off on that. I'm not going to get caught up in another whirlwind of, the Page of Cups kind of energy, where there's fantasy, there's idealism, and, that kind of energy. I'm not doing that. I need to get sobered up very quickly and pay attention to my pentacles. I think that's what that tells me. And week 3, it gets ugly. It gets ugly in week 3. Indecision is because Mars is not there to help. Reminiscing, nostalgia, and then you get into a full-blown, I'm up in my head. Yeah. I couldn't relate to this energy. I think this is a collective energy. I think absolutely this is a collective energy. I think this is the energy in the atmosphere for the month of February. Um, so get ready to get grounded, get sober. There's going to be the death of something, the endings of something. There's going to be a conflict early on. Week 3 is just going to fall apart. You're going to basically crash out in week 3. But that's only because you don't have your answers. You're waiting for something. You're probably beating yourself up trying to make a decision, but you can't. Your frustration, you go into your nostalgia moment, and then you're just all up in your head. Can't make the decision. You're unable to get the clarity. And this is what indecision breeds. It ultimately breeds to getting up in your head. But it's short lived because come the final week, there's the breakthrough, there's the opening up, there's the freedom, there's the efficiency, there's the new perspective, there's the clarity. You got your ideas are breaking through. Maybe this was writer's block for some people. This definitely could be writer's block for some. Yeah, yeah. I mean, I have to make some decisions this week for next week. And there's curiosity, death, and yeah, could be an ending. I'm in the middle of trying to write a contract for someone, and I have the strangest feeling they're going to change their mind. That's what I have. I have that feeling. They're going to change their mind. So, because they should have sent me information by now, and they haven't. But the husband is also holding off because they need more time to get their ducks lined up in a row, which I kind of told him that back in December. So, anyway, I'm digressing here. The end of week 4 in February is when all the juiciness happens. Now, I want to look at the Eight of Wands, like I said, very positive energy. It's a great follow up to this Ace of Swords. Great follow up to this Ace of Swords. You're talking movement, energy, swiftness, progress, sudden change, messages. I mean, go with the flow. Yeah, unfettered movement, a lot of energy, busy, productive, vigor. You know, what a way to like follow up on the Ace of Air. I said the Ace of, yeah, it is the Ace of Swords. It is the Ace of Air. Yeah, what a way to follow up that with than the Eight of Wands. And now you're in this vigor, you're in this productivity, you're in your flow. Everything has opened up. Finally, you just been waiting forever, just forever. Um, you've been waiting all month. You've honestly been struggling all month, trying to get to this place, and then it comes. It comes. But now I want to, and then on the heels of all of that juiciness, you get the world. And what is the world? Fulfillment, completion, mastery, attainment, integration. Oh my God. all of that pent up energy in February hits its culmination in the last week and everything just explodes. So look forward to the end of February. That's all I can tell you. Look forward to the end of February. It doesn't get any better than this. Wow, this is amazing energy. This is amazing. And 4 weeks is a very short period of time, but it can be very long. Uh, if you're watching the pot boil, a watched pot never boils. Don't watch the pot this month. Just roll with it. Just roll with it. You come across some air and just get grounded. When you come across, if you come across some stress in your head and all that stuff, acknowledge what it is. I think that's the quickest way is like turn and face that energy, acknowledge what it is. Just take it on the chin. It will go. It will, it will pass. And it won't linger forever, but it could get intense. It could get quite intense the end of the third week. But weeping endures for a night, but joy comes in the morning. That's what I'm getting. That's what I'm getting. Weeping endures for a night, but joy comes in the morning. And that's when that ace of air comes through. So I will hold fast to your vision, your mission, your purpose, all of that. Because it's going to get intense. You're going to be vigilant through that first, 2 weeks. And then that third week is going to be quite challenging. It's going to be very challenging, actually. And it's going to culminate, it's going to hit its peak. Don't make major decisions during this time. Mm-mm. Hold your tongue. You know, I would even say like take an extra dose of patience with yourself, because this is going to be trying. But on the heels of that, it's just all types of juiciness. I mean, this is the energy I'm looking forward to. So let me look up, because this might flow directly with when Mars is going direct. So let me see. Wow, why can't they just give me February 23rd? February 23rd. That's when Mars goes direct. And quite frankly, that's that last week of February. I'm right. I'm spot on. This is that retro Mars energy. That's, oh my gosh. It makes so much sense. It went retrograde December 6th in the sign of Leo, and Moon walked back into Cancer on January 6th, retrograde. Oh, I don't have this is the Farmer's Almanac. I love the Farmer's Almanac. Um, let's go back here. So December 6th, it went retrograde in Leo. And then it retrograded back into Cancer, which is where I believe it is now. Oh, here it is. And then it goes direct February 23rd. So it started off at 6 degrees in Leo. That's interesting. December 6th, 6 degrees in Leo to 17 degrees in Cancer. So that is where we are. Oops, let's see. Let me pull this one. Yeah, Mars is in Cancer right now, retrograde, 20 degrees. All right, so that's why. This is all the effects of, I mean, it's other stuff, but definitely the effects of Mars retrograde. And when Mars stations direct on February 23rd, all of that juiciness just comes pouring out. You're just gonna have to hold on. Yep. The other thing too about these energies, I'm glad I went through this with you guys because honestly, I was like, I did not get it. I was like, I'm not feeling this energy. It doesn't reflect anything that's going on in my life. And I knew it wasn't just for me. I knew it was a collective, I knew it was a collective energy. Um, so I'm going to keep my Seven of Wands there for a minute, but this Page of Air, so we're back at the Page of Air, starting off, like I said, this week. And, it's curious, witty, quick thinker, chatty, alert, very Sagittarian energy, very happy side of Sagittarius. So remain curious. That's always a good thing. Because I always say curiosity breeds listening. It's impossible to be curious and talk at the same time. So adopt the energy of curiosity, um, which I find most people do anyway. Some people call it nosy, but and it could be nosy, but still, you do get information that way. You do get more information from listening than you do in talking. And it also is a great cultivator of having conversations as opposed to just communicating and putting information out there. So conversations are very important too. So yeah, we're starting off very curious and witty. Um, so there you have it. I don't know what it is about this page energy. I'm just lingering there and lingering there and want to keep talking about it. And I'm not really sure why, but I do relate to that energy quite a bit. I really do. It doesn't bode well in certain environments. It can get you in trouble if you're around certain low vibrational environments. It's not a good energy to be around. You know, I'm not saying all sharks are bad, but if you have some sociopathic, narcissistic energy around you, that is not a good energy to be in. That's not a good part of your character to display. I'll just say that. but I do relate to the page energy, the page of air. It's very Sagittarian. All right. All right, where are we? Eagles. We got one more week before the games. I'm hearing all kinds of reports, weird stuff, leaked transcripts of who's going to win and yada, 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 all that stuff going on. And I could be wrong because, fives are the energy of change, but it's also energy of good luck. And right about now, I'll take all the good luck I can get. Okay. So I'm all right with good luck. Let me just put that out there in the universe. So the score with the Washington Commanders, the final score was 55-23. And I already said in the video, I actually dropped the video from the 25th. I finally dropped it today. So that was kind of a long video, but I added the numerology breakdown in that because 55 is a double five energy, and then 23 breaks down to 5. So that's a triple 5 energy. And they're adding on another player. They're adding another player in the game. Can't think of his name, but his number is 55. I thought that was quite interesting. And I thought about it again. I'm going to look up this player's name because, like I said, I have to try and drop some receipts. So let's see, number 55. Brandon Graham. Brandon Graham is coming back in the game. He is a defensive end. And so I hear he is amazing. And like I said, his number is 55. Okay. And this is Super Bowl 59. Okay. So LX, L1X, that's 59. And 59, 5 and 9 is 14. And 14 breaks down to the number 5. So you have 6 5s. What would you call the 6 5s? You have a lot of 5 energy here. This is not just a coincidence. There's something to this. A hex? I don't know. So I'm looking here, just a generic thing. Okay, angel numbers. All right, I'm just looking, see if I could get some additional information for you. That's potent energy. That's potent 5 energy for sure. Freedom. I'm getting freedom, independence, freeing yourself from fear-based thinking, breaking away from unhealthy relationships, taking risks in pursuit of personal goals or dreams that you've had for some time, trusting in the potential for success when stepping out of one's comfort zone, even if it feels intimidating. But all of that is good stuff that comes with it. A possibility of positive growth, moving on from someone who isn't right for you anymore, finding closure after a difficult breakup, or allowing yourself to open up more deeply with someone special. So that's more on the personal relationship side. Can be a sign of good fortune, which is what I was saying. I'm all for the good luck, the good fortune, all that juiciness. I'm all for it. I receive it. Let me tell you. As a matter of fact, this week or one day this week started the Chinese New Year. And this is the year of the wood snake, which happens to be me. And the person who reminded me, of the Chinese New Year, he said he dreaded the fact that he was a rabbit. He didn't want to be a rabbit. Rabbits get eaten. And I looked it up and I said, yeah, but rabbits are represent good luck and fortune and prosperity. I said, I'll be a rabbit all day, every day. he turns his whole perspective around on that. you know, he wants to be the predator, the one that does all the preying. But I was like, but you have luck on your side. So anyway, I don't know. I had to chuckle about that because, I just thought it was funny that he, being a man, he was like, no, I want to do the prey. It's like, what does it matter if you got luck on your side? They won't catch you. Plus, rabbits are fast. Anyway, I don't know what's making me chuckle about that, but it is. Okay, so let me get back to this. It's a sign of good fortune. This could manifest as finally snagging that dream job after months of hustling or striking gold through networking events. Um, it is always the angel numbers are always a sign of guidance from your angels. Pay attention to these numbers, which is why I'm talking about it. How is it in this game? 55, which was absolutely beating the record score for an NFC championship game. 55 is. The other team, Washington, gets 23. That breaks down to a 5. Then you add on my guy. What did I say his name was? Brandon Graham. Brandon Graham. You put him back in the lineup, and his number is 55. And then Super Bowl 59 breaks down to the number 5. Come on now, stop playing. Eagles know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. They're bringing in the gods on this one. Because even the commentator says Kansas has the gods with them. Well, the Eagles are bringing in their own gods, okay, to even this thing out. So I'm loving it. I'm loving all of this. And that game happens when February, what's the day? The 1st, the 9th. So it happens February 9th. So at that point, you're at the end of week 2, where you're grounded, page of earth, and then right before that tough week, when you have to make some decisions. So they're ending off on, little nostalgia starting that week, but then getting really sober by midweek and really getting grounded and loyal and, disciplined by weekend. But, like I said, they have some decisions to make starting off that 3rd week with the 2 of air. They've got some decisions to make. So they put in the work. They did what they needed to do. They got really grounded, really sober. That's what they're doing now. And then come game day, there's decisions to be made. But they got the energy of 5 in their favor, 6 of them to be exact. It's a quadruple. I'm showing my ignorance here. Let's see. Do you call? Um, A quintuple. No, that's a 5. Triple, quadruple, quintuple, kings. I don't know. I don't know. Sextuple? Sextuple. I think that's what, yep, this is sextuple. So, yeah, the Eagles have this sextuple. So that's why they would call like the kids, the children, the babies, the sextuplets, I think. But anyway, six in a row is called sextuple. So they got a sextuple in their energy of the number 5. Good luck, good fortune, change. I would even say a breakthrough. You got that many 5s going in your favor, for sure. So that is all I have, beloveds. I'm actually very tired. I didn't even want to post today. I was just not in the mood to do any work today. Nothing. I wasn't interested to come in here and do anything, but I just got so bored. And I knew that if I kept doing what I was doing earlier, I would not get any sleep tonight. So thank goodness I wore myself out in here. But I uploaded my video a little late, but from last week when the Eagles won, crushed Washington. Thank goodness. That was a phenomenal game. And I uploaded the first introduction in chapter 1 of the Kabbalion. So, like I said, check that out. And um, I am going to, I don't know, I need to maybe find some other outlets to do some shorter things because I actually have more success with the shorter videos, these hour-long videos. People are not trying to listen to. But if I get them, if I tag the right folks in there, they'll respond, they'll comment. um, I try not to do that though, and not not just for the sake of clickbaiting, but clickbaiting. But I do need to, do shorter videos because they're more impactful, particularly if I do shorts. But I have too much to say these days for shorts. But I need to do more shorts. All right. So that's it. Have a wonderful Saturday. Happy February. Remember to stay grounded. Mars is retrograde, so it's going to get a little strange, a little tough. It's going to feel a little, um, what do I want to say? It's going to feel, I don't know, reserved. That's a good word. It's going to feel a little reserved. It almost feels Saturnian a little bit, that Saturnian energy. And Saturn is delays, discipline, structure, holding back, all of that. It feels very Saturnian, but it's this Mars retrograde. So I'm not going to talk about DEI tonight. It's just too negative. We'll deal with that on another day. So have a great Saturday night. I hope you get to go out and have some fun and enjoy yourself with family, friends, or whomever. Okay. Take care. God bless. And remember to continue to smile. May your smile shine as bright as the beautiful star that you are. All right. Peace, peace.